So James Gunn is gearing up for Superman Legacy and and basically, excuse me, he's gearing up for the most important project of his career, Superman Legacy. So there are some guys that is rumored that he is having do a screen test for the Superman role. And here are the three men: Nicholas Hoult, David Cornsweet, and Tom Brittney. Now here's the thing: James Gunn talked about this on the Talkville or on the podcast with I forget his name. You just Michael Rosenberg, Michael Rosenbaum, Bam, and he actually said that he hated that people are trying to leak out the screen test news because he said that that's a very private thing for people because you're not really seeing the finished product, and he hates when screen tests get leaked out and stuff. So he was actually kind of pissed about that. But I will say this. I don't know why the hell Nicholas Hoult is even in talks to play Superman. He looks nothing like a Superman character. He was a dude that played Beast with
I know.
Why the hell is this guy? He looks terrible as Superman. I don't even see a possible universe where this dude Superman. He looks real bad. It's like seeing Nicolas Cage Superman. Like it's just not possible. Now between David Cornsweet and Tom Brittney, they both look. I mean, Tom Brittney gives me more of a New 52 Superman look. You know, kind of like a modern. David Cornsweet is really literally a younger version of Henry Cavill. He looks just like Henry Cavill. Yeah. So I'm cool with either of the castings. And I think they're both really good actors. I would go between those two. But if Nicholas Hoult is Superman, I will riot. And I don't think I'm going to enjoy the film at all. Because one thing about characters like Superman and Batman, they have to resemble the character. And to me, when I look at Nicholas Hoult, I see nothing like.
I will say one thing though. I remember when Daniel Craig was cast as James Bond, and like this was the early days of social media, you know, and people lost their minds. They were like, he doesn't look like James Bond. He's blonde. And I was like, well, Roger Moore didn't look like him. And, you know, I hate Roger Moore's James Bond. But, you know, I was like, let's give Daniel Craig a chance. And I think he could be the best Bond. I mean, it's what everyone likes to say, Sean Connery, but like, you know, what Daniel Craig revitalized the franchise in a way that is invaluable. You know, and Davy Cornsweet, my only experience with him is watching this show Hollywood, which I turned off in the middle because it was totally not what I thought it was going to be. And if you know anything about that show, you probably know what I'm talking about. And listen, no disrespect if that's what you're into. I thought it was about making movies, and it was not. So I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth for David Cornsweet, but I think he looks the part. He's probably a great actor. Listen, and my point about Daniel Craig with Nicholas Hoult is, you know, Beast was obviously not one of the main, you know, characters of the X-Men movies that he was in. And I think if James Gunn is considering him, I do think that he probably would be a killer Superman on screen. However, I definitely see your point with, you know, they need to resemble the character, but I also remember Daniel Craig not resembling the classic James Bond, and you know, in my opinion, I think he's the best Bond of them all. So
but there's not comic books written where you see what the character looks like, you know, and that's like
there are James Bond comic books, but you know, to your point,
but they came after the movies, you know, like it's like we're not basing it from a source, and like Nicholas Hoult is probably a way better actor than both of them because he's a really amazing dynamite actor. I mean, I love all of Nicholas Hoult's projects, but here's the thing, like Superman, and this might sound crazy, Superman is low-key a bland character. So I mean, you don't need a Christian Bale acting type of style to really do Superman, in my opinion. And I also think that with someone like Nicholas,
he doesn't have the complexity to him.
Exactly. He's not Bruce Wayne. Like you need a Robert Pattinson, someone of that caliber, to take on a character that needs. Superman's a pretty like simple character.
It's not that deep.
Exactly. He gets more complex. Like what is more complex is the lore of Superman, not the Superman character itself. So that's why I'm saying like you don't really need him. Like I think Nicholas Hoult will be a great Lex Luthor. Like that's that's kind of character that I see him play more. I think he'll be a great Brainiac too. Like he's that caliber of actor to take on those roles. So but it is the same way that Tom Hiddleston auditioned for Thor. He ended up being Loki. So you never know.
Yeah, it would have been insane if Tom Hiddleston played fucking Thor.